In today's episode, we are going to talk to a guest about task bots, really interesting technology. So you may have heard of chatbots before. You may have interacted with a chatbot before. It's so important to look at what's happening in the tech landscape, right? It usually doesn't recede. It usually keeps going. So task bots are really, really interesting. They have the potential to do tasks for you, right? So to help you get important things done, yeah? Doesn't mean that you need to leave your values and ethics at the door, and we'll explore that in today's podcast. But we are very lucky to have an expert on the show that can talk to us about what a task bot might be able to do for us and what it might not, and how a task bot might be able to help us do better in business. You've tuned into the Better in Business podcast, and I'm your host, Jeannie Savage. I'm a multi-award winning business veteran and head of the Strategic Bookkeeper Network. My network of strategic bookkeepers is dedicated to helping entrepreneurs do better in business. This podcast aims to challenge your thinking. If you're not thinking the right way, how can you act the right way? Each episode will dive into key drivers of success, which I also call the rules of the game. Learn the rules and play to win. Let's go. I like to start every episode by reminding you that it is globally recognized that pillar number one for success is up-to-date, accurate bookkeeping, which is the only way you can see how your business is performing in terms of profit and cash. If your books aren't right up to date, visit betterinbusiness.global, drop me a line, and I'll connect you with a certified strategic bookkeeper. Fire your bookkeeper and hire a strategic bookkeeper. Bookkeeping is a cost, whereas strategic bookkeeping is an investment that averages a 10x return on the fees. Today's guest is Victoria Rose, published author, trainer, leadership coach, and taskbot creator. And today she's going to talk to us about why it's smart to delegate time-sucking social media tasks to automation.
I will now welcome Victoria to talk about why it is smart to delegate time-sucking social media tasks to automation. Welcome, Victoria.
Hello, Jeannie. Thank you so much. It's exciting to be chatting to you today.
Yeah, I was pretty excited about you. Who doesn't want this? Like we all want help making more space and more room and more time. And I certainly don't like wasting up my time on things that tech and automation can do. So I'd just love you to tell us anything, Victoria, that you think is the best thing to start with, whether it's your story or your product or how you solve a problem, just whatever you would love to start by telling me, that would be amazing.
Fabulous. So basically, I was born with a science fiction book in my hand, Jeannie. So all of these fandangled new ways with technology and how we can just build better as a small business. So I've been in small business since 2008, and having that experience, I absolutely get how difficult it is as a small business owner to do all the things that need to be done, especially on social media. So when I saw chatbots, I started off with chatbots first, and I just already had my head around the concept because chatbots create conversations in Messenger and other places, but I dealt mainly in Messenger. And I just thought, what a lifesaver this is. And then about a year ago, I came across a new SaaS solution, TaskBots. And how exciting is that? If you are medium, large, my focus is on small business owners because I know how tough it is. So here I am on the scene and helping a small business grow and actually do more of what they love to do, which is why they got into business, small business in the first place, and not be a slave to all of the boring, daily, repetitive tasks that they have to do.
Yeah, okay, then this is great. And I totally get it. I've worked in all different sizes of business, but I did a lot of yards and years in bigger business, like helping to grow a business from, say, 10 to 100 million, being just part of the team there. And small business is much harder. Jack of all
Oh, God.
trades. Yeah, master of none. So I do love that you're passionate about that. We're not departmentalized. And Victoria, can you walk us through, so these VA bots that you have, because I'm keenly interested. So can you just kind of tell us their absolute main purpose? Is it chatting on social media? Is it broader than that? What's their purpose?
Their purpose can be anything that you as a small business owner decide you want to do that requires you to use your fingers to tap on your mobile phone or the keyboard. A task bot can automate any of that. So it's a huge scope. What I personally do is focus on two areas, and those areas are to build and to grow. Now, building is lead generation, but it's not enough, because what's happening is people are investing their time, their money, their energy into getting the leads. Yes, let's do that. How exciting. And then they don't nurture those leads. They don't build the relationship.
And like, I'm thinking of it every now and then. I run events, right? Let's say I'm going to run an event around the critical drivers of profit. That might sound boring, but I'm a strategic bookkeeper. And then we tend to want to reach out to people on LinkedIn. Like, we'll put the event up, promote the event, try and connect with people and just let them know the event's running, so that if this is, if they've got a problem that we can help solve by bringing them into the event, we do that. Is the chatbot something that can help with that? Or could you give us other examples of what it does?
So what you would like to do there, you would need a task bot. Chatbots can't actually work on LinkedIn at the moment, unless that's happened very recently. So you would need a task bot. Let me give you an example of a couple of, one task bot I built and another one that I'm building, to give you the full scope of how it can help with business owners. Not 24 hours in the day is never enough. So my very first task bot I call the birthday bot. What I have done with Facebook for 2 years, and I've got 3.6 thousand friends on Facebook, I have manually connected with them, sort of in some way, nurtured the relationship by recognizing a very important event. Because one of the things about reaching out to people is you don't want to be creepy and you don't want to be spamming. Yeah, how lovely if you can reach out to your friends, so they're from your personal profile, and it's not about business, but of course it is, because you're nurturing the relationship. So I have done that for 2 years. What happens though, sometimes I'd go onto Facebook and I'd have 22 people on a good day that were having a birthday. So all I did was cut and paste. The issue with that is that takes a lot of time, and sometimes you forget to change the name, Jeannie. So someone says, "Oh, I think you've sent me the wrong message," and I'm going, "Oh no." So what can Birthday Bot do? It's really fabulous. So you schedule it. It's a daily thing, and Birthday Bot will go onto Facebook for you, and with each person that's having a birthday, Birthday Bot will insert a greeting that uses their proper name. So there's none of that confusion, because it's scheduled, it's automatic. So you don't even have to think about it. At the end of the run, what you will get is an email message that says, "Congratulations, Birthday Bot has completed the run and is waiting for the next task." But here's the magic. So when I was doing it manually and taking all that time to do it, with Birthday Bot, I use spin tax, and I explain quite clearly how that works. So what it means is I have 10 different ways. You can have more than that to say hello. Can be hooray, warm wishes, celebrate, a joyful day. Then their name is put in, and then you can have as many variations of the birthday message as you want. I use a lot of emojis because it is about emotion, and birthdays in particular are emotional, whether because, oh my God, it's another year or whatever. And so what happens then when you schedule your run, you're busy doing other work, birthday bot goes and does the job, and it just goes through all the variations that the message can be. Now, why is this important? Because we share a lot of friends, and they can often have the same day as their birthday. So you've given them a greeting and they've gone, oh, that's such a sweet message, thank you. And then they go on to their friend who's got a birthday on the same day, and they think, oh, gee, look, it's the exact same message. Never happens with Birthday Bot, because Birthday Bot will cycle through and create so many different variations. And that's it.
Okay.
For 365 days, it's a subscription model, and you can cancel that at any time. But it doesn't end there. So let's say now you're busy, you're working away, and you're on Facebook at some time, and you'll see a notification where Jeannie said, oh, thank you so much. I love your message. And so now you manually go in and you decide what is it that you're going to say to Jeannie, and you then create a message. And then sometimes Jeannie will respond, and then you'll put a love heart or whatever you wish to do, or a GIF and a sticker. So what it's done, and you would know, Jeannie, of course, I mean, it changes. Some say it's 7 touch points before they'll remember you. You'll be top of mind. Some say it's as much as 12 or 13. What the Birthday Bot is doing is it takes you 10 minutes to set it up at the beginning, and then you just let it run. And then when you get the notifications, another touch point, another touch point. It's magic.
And is this a task bot or a chat bot that's doing that?
A task bot. A
Task
chat
bot. So you can use task bots in LinkedIn as well, can you?
You can, yes. In LinkedIn, you can get a list of leads. You can direct message the leads. You can go into groups, anything that you can do with your own fingers to do something a task bot can do.
Yeah, right. Interesting, because I'm always keenly interested in all things marketing brand. It just, it's probably from my background, the way I grew up. It just fascinates me, the changing landscape and all of this. And something that I've noticed that has been quite rapidly changing is these marketing comms. So just for example, personally, if I get, because I have a lot of friends on Facebook as well, but I have friends and a lot of business buddies, right? Thousands of business buddies. And I'm also a very direct communicator. So I appreciate direct communication. I'm also time poor. And to me, time is more valuable than money. I like being time rich. So sometimes when I get someone start chat marketing to me, and it's kind of obvious, like they're a business buddy, I don't really know them. So why would they be heavily inquiring about my life, if you know what I mean? And it does damage their brand. Like it makes me not want to work with them. So I guess what I'm trying to dive into here, and you're kind of answering my questions, is your task bots are available to use in a way that you would more do personally, if that makes sense. When it comes to Facebook Messenger, I think it's a really private space. We have to make sure that we have a lot of integrity with the messages we send. Again, I'm a really direct communicator, so I'm quite happy to say, look, hi, Tom. You probably know I run a strategic bookkeeping practice. I noticed you have a business. I'm running some really cool events, and I just thought they might benefit you. Like I'm someone who loves to just be direct, but groups and things like that. I can see the power of it in that. Do you have any comments on the changing landscape around what I call chat marketing? Have you observed anything I've observed?
Well, you would have a different perspective, of course, than I would. Been a chatbot conversational designer for quite a few years now. I guess the best way for me to answer that, Jeannie, is with a chatbot, it's got to be conversational. I never ever design. Now we're talking a chatbot, not a task bot. So, because a task bot is tasks, whereas a chatbot is chatting, it's talking. But you can still do that, but I will never build a chatbot that doesn't say up front, hey, I'm Victoria's chatbot.
I love it. Okay, interesting.
Always.
Yeah. Look, I love that you're doing the task bot. I mean, that just floats my boat, right? Who doesn't want something to help your task? So that's what I mean. Got an executive assistant in the Philippines. I've got support here. We've got people, but to be able to leverage some tech as well is amazing. So that's really interesting that you do that, Victoria. So it works in Instagram as well?
Yes, absolutely. Anything that you can use your fingers to access anything and complete a task bot can do it.
Yeah, okay. Because what I find in Instagram, and hopefully my audience, when they're listening, can relate to this as well, is that, we build up a following of businesses and clients that we could really help to solve problems. But it is really hard to stay connected to them. It is really hard to reach out and say, you know what, we've got this really cool, it's like a tiny little how-to guide, the 7 deadly cash flow sins, right? So you can, tradies, anyone can grab it and they can literally use it as rules of the game and tick one off each at a time and do better in business free of charge. Because what we do is we're like, okay, so if we go out and we give people some value and we help them move the needle, then we know they're going to see we can give them even more value. But to actually get time to connect with people and say, hey, we'd just really love to put this in your hot little hands, it's virtually impossible.
It's actually virtually possible. I would like to make one point about your EA. One of the issues I see is that not you, Jeannie. There are so many business owners that are boring the living daylights out of their excellent VAs and EAs, not that every VA and EA is like that, by giving them these mundane tasks to do instead of letting their VAEA use the brilliance that they have, their knowledge of what your business does, of their own experience to move the needle for your business. So they're paying them to do tasks that a task bot can do. And might I say, better.
Look, yeah, I've played in that space for a lot of years, and I remember 20 or more years ago, over 20 years ago when I worked as a programmer, that discovering that when a machine does it, which, all machines have their limits, but machines, they're not imperfect organic machines like we are. They are more reliable, they're not emotional, they're not having good and bad days. And so the great thing is that if we can, give a machine a narrow task, usually they can repeat that task with virtually no error, which is great. And Victoria, I completely agree, letting your EA set her soul on fire or his soul on fire with things that they actually want to do. I think that's great advice as well.
Yeah, totally. And as I said, the TaskBot, so there is a TaskBot marketplace. I'm now completing my second TaskBot, which I'll quickly go through the concept for you. But if you went to the zerowork.io, you'd see the marketplace, and there you've got TaskBots that have been built by other bot creators, and it's to do with LinkedIn, it's to do with working with groups, it's to do with Twitter, Quora, all of those things. So although it's only about a year old, this particular concept, because there are similar automations that they're not, I know you're going to think I'm biased, Jeannie, but they're not as good as the Zero Work TaskBots. So it's checking that out. But let me tell you the one that I'm working on now. Again, my focus, you can do lead generation. So many do that. There's not a lot about nurturing and building a relationship. So I had someone come to me a short while ago and say, look, I want to connect with people that are my friends. So again, he wants to work from his personal profile, not his business one. It's a different concept. So what he wants to do is every day check Facebook with his VIPs and decide whether or not to comment or place an emoji on what they just posted. So that is his way, or one of his ways, of actually connecting and nurturing people. And he's very particular about who he's friends with. Yes, it's a really good idea. So at the moment, I'm about halfway through with what I'm calling the 100 VIP bot. And here's what will happen. It's again scheduled, and I need to be given how many people do you want to work with. So it could be 30, 50, 100. My recommendation is that you, at least initially, don't go above 100, because here's what will happen. The VIP bot will go through every day, and it will put onto a data table the content of that chosen person's VIP and whatever their post is. Now, that'll be on a data table, and that can be transferred to a Google Sheet. Now, let's call him Jack. What Jack can do is go through the Google Sheet, and he might decide he's got the link to the post there. He might decide, you know what, I want to have a look at this post. I want to see what other people have said. I want to be a bit more strategic for various reasons based on previous relationship with this particular VIP. And so he just taps the link and he goes to that actual post, and he decides then, will I just put an emoji? Will I put in a comment, or will I just ignore this one today? Now, he can do it that way, or there's also where he can, rather than go into Facebook, and we're just looking at Facebook here, is because this person in particular gets distracted, and it's called switch tasking. I don't know if you've heard of that, Jeannie.
No, I haven't.
So switch tasking, I am guilty of, and I do it all the time. When I described to him what switch tasking means, he sort of got all red and sheepish. And so unlike multitasking, which we know no one can do, not even women. So what switch tasking is, I'm looking at my VIP and they put a comment, or another person has commented and they put a link or something, and I go, ooh. So my task was to go through my 50 VIPs and just see if I was going to comment on their last post. But, look at this. They said this. Now that's interesting. So what do? I switch task. I tap on that link and I'm taken down into the rabbit hole. And an hour goes by and I've gone through 5 of my VIPs. So let's go back to the data table or the Google Sheet, same. He can put into the sheet how he would like to comment, what he would like to say. Then when the VIP bot does the run as scheduled the next day, it will insert his comment, and that will save him a lot of time.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I think switch tasking, let's face it, we're all guilty. Unless you're superhuman, it is something, it's a monster we all need to continue to learn and try and tame. Can I ask you, Victoria, if you can share with us any results that you're seeing? I would also like to know key industries that you're working in, so results, stories, industries.
So this is a fairly new Jeannie. So I've only really just finished my birthday bot about a month ago, perhaps 6 weeks. So he's into building businesses. He's a coach. The other person trying to build a very big business and doing reasonably well, but just taking him so much hours in the day. The other person is a forensic accountant. Surprise, surprise.
Oh,
yeah. And also I have someone who's involved in online courses. So because remember, we're looking at small businesses here. So she's building her online course and she wants to build relationships and lead a generation as well. So that's totally possible. But you've got to keep up with them. If you're going to get the lead, don't ignore them. And except for when you get back to them to tell them about your fabulous course and they should do it. You know, it's a big no. And the other person, I think she's a coach too.
Yeah, I imagine they're popular in pro services, including coaches. I mean, look, I would definitely say something that I talk about a bit with my clients. So I'm a strategic bookkeeper. I'm also a business strategist. And one of the things around marketing that I ask them to really get sorted as soon as possible is their keep in touch marketing systems. Never forget your customers, and your customers will never forget you. As you can probably tell, I'm big on integrity and being genuine. And so I think the same applies with the bots. We don't have to leave our ethics and values at the door if we pick up this tech. We don't have to do it the same as what we've seen anyone else do it. And, you know, you don't have to use this tech if you don't want either. But if you feel like there could be a place for it simply to help you do things faster, I think that's what it's about. In terms of birthdays, it is so powerful to simply keep in touch with people. So I think that's great. Can I ask you, Victoria, is your pricing for the birthday bot advertised? Like, is that something you can tell us now?
Yes. So it's a subscription model. If anyone was to go to zerowork.io and look at the marketplace, all of the pricing is there. It's in American dollars. My birthday bot per month, and you can cancel anytime, is $18, let's say, per month. And when you consider that you're saving yourself minimum 2 hours, sometimes 10 hours, it all depends how many friends you have.
Yeah. I'd say more like 10.
Yes, exactly. So it's a really good value for money. And there's a 14-day free trial.
And is the birthday bot the one that you've got out now? Is the other bot coming soon?
It is. You can go onto the marketplace and you'll see that I put up a pre-publish and you can go on the waiting list. I have people on the waiting list that are waiting for me to finish this.
Hats off to you if you're software developing, because I wouldn't do it if people realize how tricky it is. But yeah.
And you would know this yourself. So at the moment, my 2 task bots are both focused on Facebook, which is the most difficult platform to work with. Facebook. And they keep changing, not just people complaining because what they see on the interface is changing. Facebook keep changing the coding, the behind the scenes, because they don't like that people are doing these things. Because as you would know, Jeannie, you've got to be very, very careful that you put in delays, and your task bot is not to be seen as spamming, not from people, but from Facebook. The algorithms they've got in place. There are lots of concerns.
Yeah, again, I would say really important not to leave your integrity at the door, really important not to be spamming. I mean, there has been quite a few times on Facebook, even if it's not a bot, if I can tell someone is chat marketing, I'm brutal. And I say, look, after say 6 messages, which, you know, with someone that I don't really, you know, a business buddy I don't really know, I might say, look, this sounds like chat marketing. If you've got a product that you think I should look at, please feel free just to say, do you know what? I really think you should look at this. But apart from that, I just don't have all data back and forth, and I don't want to be rude, you know. Again, there's kind of icky things about it, but I think the important thing is don't leave your integrity at the door. Don't leave your values at the door. This tech is here just to automate things that you might want to do manually anyway. Like the other day, I did a post just for my business buddies. It was just a personal post on Facebook. And I said, this is for my business buddies. If cash flow is front of mind for you, then I just want to share a resource I've made, right? So the 7 deadly cash flow sins. And it's a little ebook. Here it is. If you like it, grab it, right? So obviously TaskBot has the power to do that in a slightly more personal way. Again, I don't have to leave my integrity at the door. I can take it with me when I'm doing these things. So if anyone's listening and feeling like, oh, this feels a bit icky, it doesn't need to be. It can be like any other tech, a way to give you just a little bit more leverage, a little bit more time.
Jeannie, that is so true. And I would like to say here, it's who is building the chatbots and the taskbots. The person that builds the workflow in an icky way is the person that would have been icky in real life.
Yeah.
I have 3 values, top of values in life, and the number 1 is integrity. I would not be doing this if I thought that it wasn't right action, if it wasn't for the good, especially small business owners, even though, as I said at the beginning, you've got medium-sized businesses and large businesses that have been using chatbots forever, or for as long as they've been going.
Yes, yeah.
But taskbots are new. It's only the year that they've started, and gradually, and you have to learn how to build the workflow, how to develop the taskbot. And that was a journey, Jeannie.
Yeah, so you've got to build the workflow. Yeah, massive. Yeah, like I say, hats off to you there. Not something I'd ever do. So interesting. Wow. Yeah, it's amazing. So I'm aware of time and I know we need to wrap up. This has just been such a great conversation. So Victoria, you've already said that we can go to, is it zero.io?
Zerowork.io.
What about, can we find you at your own website as well?
Yes, we buildyourbot.com.
Do you also build bots for people, or like custom bot?
Yes, I can build a custom bot. See, when you do a chatbot, it's a much more expensive outlay because chatbots generally are customized. They have to be. Whereas the taskbot, the idea is to have a look at the problems that people are having, and can I build a taskbot that will help them with that? So the idea is to, yes, like Jack did, came to me and said, look, I want to get in contact with my friends from my personal profile and keep up with their last post. Well, I'm building that, but it's not exclusively for him. He can subscribe. Yeah, but it's on being let out to all of the other business owners that are in business so they can do good.
Yeah. Makes total sense. All right. So amazing, Victoria. Thank you so much. We're going to put some links in the show notes and things. So if anyone just wants to click and be directed, they can do that. So I'll get all that off you. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
I hope you enjoyed that episode as much as I enjoyed recording it. I would love to help you start doing better in business right now by giving you a free little ebook. It's a how-to guide. It's called the 7 Deadly Cash Flow Sins. And also I've developed a business health check for you. It's super high value. Both are available at betterinbusiness.global. If you would like to fire your bookkeeper and hire a strategic bookkeeper to start enjoying a return on investment and get the support you need to optimize your business cash and profit and time well, simply visit betterinbusiness.global, drop me a line and I'll connect you with a certified strategic bookkeeper near you. I'll see you in the next episode.